What's going on, world? This is your boy Reggie. Welcome to another edition of the Family Meeting Podcast. Presents 100 Yards and Running. I want to give a shout out to my brothers in the Family Meeting Podcast. Tune in to their podcast upcoming this upcoming Saturday. They got something special for y'all. But I want to dive into it. Let's bring on my brother from Houston, August Stevens.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm blessed, brother. Let's dive into it. We had some breaking news in the NFL. I want to dive right into it. The New
Yeah, let's.
York Jets, after losing to the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 23 to 17, the New York Jets, after week 5, fired their head coach, Robert Saleh, after 5 games. I'm going to dive right into this. I think it was the right move
Yeah, yeah.
at the moment because let's face it, he has a 20-36 record with the Jets. They haven't made it to the playoffs since God knows how long, and they're getting their hopes up with Aaron Rodgers. To me, right now, and I'm going to be blunt and say it, the head coach of the New York Football Jets right now is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is calling the shots there. Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
he wasn't unhappy with Robert Saleh. You saw the confrontation between them when they tried to embrace when they won against the Patriots. Come on, you played the Patriots. We
I
knew
mean,
something was going on with that type of coaching and the QB chemistry. If your quarterback and your coach it doesn't have that type of chemistry, let's face it, every coach in the NFL needs a good quarterback. And the Jets was lacking that. They're great on defense on paper. They have the weapons on offense on paper right now with the running backs like they have a Brees Hall and that boy from Alabama that can run.
mhm.
I mean, what are y'all doing, New York? Talk to me, brother.
So look, man, the New York situation is a very finicky and sticky one because, like you said, Aaron Rodgers is the coach, right? He's calling all the plays, he's making all of the personnel decisions. And if you don't believe it, just look what happened to Robert Saleh. A lot of people are thinking now that Robert Saleh is gone, what does that do to their trade talks with the Raiders? And honestly, I don't think that they end up landing a guy like Adams because of the fact that he needs to be in a situation where it can possibly work. And now you have a situation with the coaching staff in New York that is too finicky, right? You got Nathaniel Hackett that's taken over, and we all know that at the end of the day, he's not going to be there for too much longer. He was there because he was under Robert Saleh, and now he's going
Mhm.
to go to. They're going to bring in a young coach probably, or a guy that's been working hard over the past few years. Like who is the Steelers defensive coordinator? You know, the
Um,
the guy he was the Miami head coach and they fired him and all that craziness.
Brian
That
Flores.
right, Brian Flores, he has a quite possible chance of becoming a New York Jets head coach because he does what he needs to do. He's proven it. I think it's time to give him an opportunity. You know what I mean?
Let's stay, not to cut you off, let's stay on Brian Flores.
Mhm.
Look at that Vikings defense. And I said this last week. That is the reason why the Minnesota Vikings are not, and we're going to get on Sam Darnold. And I said this
Yeah,
last week.
yeah.
Brian Flores changed the culture of that Vikings defense. The Vikings defense wasn't that great, and they went and got a defensive minded coach and Brian Flores. Now, since we're on the object of Robert Saleh was a defensive coordinator in San Francisco.
Mhm.
Play to stick to your limits, bro. Maybe I could see him being a better defensive coordinator on a different team.
Yeah. That's the thing about some of these head coaches, right? Some of them are great as position coaches, some of them are great as coordinators. But when they become a head coach, being a head coach is more than just calling plays. It's more
Mhm.
than just running a defense or just running an offense. You have to deal with personnel. You have to deal with so much of the the day-to-day process of these players and their personal lives and the things that they got going on outside that they may bring inside to the building. You have to know how to shut that down and specifically be about football. You know what I mean? And that's a problem for some of them. And hey, look, everybody can't do it. You know what I mean? Everybody cannot be a head coach. But what you could
No,
do is be a great coordinator. And I think for some of these coaches in the NFL, especially right now, it's being shown. It's being shown.
indeed. Thursday night. Moving on to Thursday night football, we had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Atlanta Falcons. Where I picked Tampa to win this game, I was shocked that the Falcons pulled it off in overtime. They won by a score of 30-36. Now, I'm going to give Kirk Cousins his flowers this week because he got the offense down the field when he needed to. It took
Yeah.
them overtime to do it, but he got the job done. What are your thoughts on
Listen,
this game, brother? Talk to me.
listen, man. I'm not singing Kirk Cousins his flowers. I'm not doing it. He's been on three teams now. We know what he is. He's one of those guys, kind of like Nick Foles. He can come in for two, three, 4 games and be really hot, and then he'll fall off the edge of a cliff. And when you're talking about a divisional game, these are guys that you should know like the back of your hand because you play them twice a year, every year, right? So no matter the personnel differences, no matter the scheming, the coaching differences, you know about these teams. So yeah, it was it an impressive win because he took down Tampa, who's been on a roll. Sure, right? But we all know at the end of the day, the Falcons aren't going anywhere.
They're not. Let's talk about a game that impressed me, that did impress me this week. The Ravens and the Bengals. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. The Ravens
Yeah.
pulling it off in overtime, winning by a score of 41-38. I'm going to say it right now. The
Yeah.
Ravens are back. The Ravens are back. They are doing what we said to do last week. Utilize Derrick Henry. You didn't sign this man on your team to be a decoy for Lamar Jackson and that offense. Use him. He's a powerful running back. He's running people over left and right. And Lamar Jackson, I want to talk about one play that he did that impressed me. When
Hmm.
he had Isaiah Likely double in the end zone,
Hmm.
scrambling. He felt that pressure right behind him, and he delivered the ball where it needed to be. Talk to me about the Ravens, man. What do you see that's impressing you in Baltimore right now?
So what I see from Baltimore, first and foremost, we have to remember again, it was a divisional game. And these two teams, they fought tooth and nail. Because
Yes, they did.
honestly, if you look at the Bengals, everybody is questioning like what is happening to the Bengals? Is Joe Burrow really that guy? Is there so many questions surrounding the Bengals? But the Ravens, on the other hand, like you said, they might be one of those teams that have figured out the formula. You don't bring in a back like Derrick Henry and have what could be a decoy. Because you got to remember, Lamar Jackson could take off burning at any second. He is
Yes,
fast,
he can.
right?
Yes, he is.
So you've got the speed of Lamar Jackson and the power of Derrick Henry. That is a dangerous combination. That's what they tried to get when they brought Mark Ingram to Baltimore,
Hmm.
but it wasn't quite there. But now that they figured out this is the type of ball that they want to play, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be dangerous in the AFC and possibly on a road to the Super Bowl because they figured it out early. It's only week 5 that just passed. They have plenty of more football to play. I think this could be it for the Ravens.
Let's talk about the Colts and the Jaguars. Though the Jaguars getting their first win, I'm not that impressed. They beat the Colts by a field goal by a score of 37-34. I picked the Jags to win this game personally because let's face it, they were desperate to get a win. You
Yeah.
don't want to start the season. No NFL team in NFL history wants to start the season 0-5. That's a bad look. You might as well count yourself out the playoffs for this matter. But they pulled it off. Were you impressed or weren't you impressed?
I was not impressed. I know I keep pounding on it. I keep getting on it, but it's you know the one and only time that hold on, look, come here. Say hi, baby. Look at this. Hey, mama. How you doing? Say hello. You don't want to say hi? All right, go ahead, mama. I'll be there in a second. Oh, you want to stay? Anyway, so well, like I was saying, man, they have it's a fighting thing between divisions. No, no,
Mhm.
mama. It's a fighting thing between divisions, right? And that's something that you don't want to do is lose to your divisional opponent. You know what I
Right.
mean? So yeah, of course they're gonna go hard. What? Um,
Shout out
they
to the
don't.
kids, man. We love the kids.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? You see it? What am I? Oh yeah, so it's just flowers. Beautiful, baby.
Moving
Hey.
on, we had, and I don't know if we was impressed with this game either, but we're gonna go and dive into it anyway. The
Mhm.
Dolphins defeating the Patriots, another divisional game, by a score of 15-10, and this was a low-scoring game to me.
Right.
And I had to give you your flowers because we spoke over the week, and I picked
Yeah,
the
we
Dolphins.
did.
I picked the Patriots to win this game because of the defense. The Dolphins proved me wrong.
Yep.
So
Yep.
talk to me about the Dolphins.
Look, man, one thing that the Dolphins have, they have a squad. So really, it doesn't really matter what quarterback you put back there. All he has to do is not mess the passing up. Just don't fumble. Don't throw any
Mhm.
interceptions. You know what I mean? And so it's gonna be hard for a team to beat them as long as they work as a cohesive unit. And that's why
Right.
I really believe that the Dolphins were gonna win.
The Browns and the Commanders. I keep giving this kid his flowers every time we talk about him. Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
Jaden
Yes.
Daniels put on a show and defeated the Cleveland Browns by a score of 34-13. I said it
Yeah.
last week, and I'm gonna say it this week. What we are seeing from Jaden Daniels is reminding me of what we seen from CJ Stroud when he was drafted in the
Yeah.
NFL. He had
Absolutely.
talent. He had talent on both ends of the ball, and nobody is picking the Commanders to win this division. I am shocked that the Commanders, the Washington Commanders,
Hey.
is in
No,
first
no.
place in the NFC East. You heard correctly. The Washington Commanders. And are they a legit team? I don't know about that yet because it's only week 5, and
No.
I'm still picking the Eagles to win this division, but I might be wrong. Talk to me.
I think you might be wrong on that one, man. Because even though you have a rookie quarterback, this rookie seems to be one of those guys that can put it together. Hold on 1 second, man. Let me take care of my daughter real quick, man. I'll be right back. What? What's wrong?
I'm gonna
What's
dive
wrong?
into this game with y'all real quick. Like what we've seen from the Cleveland Browns defense. Everybody knows Cleveland's defense is not what it used to be. They got injuries on both ends of the ball. And Jaden Daniels, like I said, he was tearing their offense up, their defense apart all game. He was throwing, he was passing, he was running. He kind of reminded me of what Donovan McNabb did in Philadelphia when he got drafted there. McNabb put on a show. He led the Eagles to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, we all know what happened in that history. Brady and the Patriots stopping the Eagles' momentum, and that's what that was. Moving on, the Bills and the Texans. CJ Stroud. I just spoke about CJ Stroud last week. This kid is, like I said, this kid is the future of the NFL. They played Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Everybody was high on the Bills. Oh, Josh Allen and the Bills Mafia. We here, we here, we here. No, y'all not. Ever since y'all lost Stephon Diggs and Von Miller's out, Tre'Davious White is out, you got Jordan Poyer is out. You got guys on the defensive end, and I'm not sleeping on Buffalo on the Bills defense because the Bills defense is okay. You got guys that's hurt on both ends of the floor and you're expecting Josh Allen to do too damn much in Buffalo. I just don't see it. But like I said, CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans pulling it off.
Yo, man,
Last second field goal, winning this game by a score of 23-20. I picked Houston to win this game because you heard my thoughts, brother. Talk to
let
me.
let me tell you why this was important. First and foremost, my bad for the interruptions, man. You know what I mean? Fucking yeah, daughter's kind of crazy right now. She's being grumpy. But anyway, so the Houston Texans are proving and showing that they can win in multiple different ways. They can blow you
Mhm,
out. They can win in the nail biter. They can win by 25. They can win by three. You know what I mean?
mhm.
I think in the AFC South, especially because everyone thought the Colts were going to be the team that they needed to compete with Anthony Richardson and all of them. But none of the teams in the AFC South is going to stop the Houston Texans if they continue at this pace. They are going to reach the playoffs. And honestly, I want to see that battle that we talked about. They could have a battle of Anthony Richardson, I mean of CJ Stroud versus Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? That could be a crazy AFC championship game. And the way that they're playing, I'd put my money on it.
Hey, they making me a believer. Another team that's trying to make me a believer, sort of a way. Chicago. I'm not impressed with this victory because you
No,
did play Andy Dalton,
no,
aka Andy Dick, as my brother would call him,
no,
and you played the Panthers. The
no. I'm
Bears beat the
sorry. I'm
Panthers
sorry,
by
bro.
a score of 36-10.
Look, man, great. You beat who you were supposed to beat. Congratulations. The problem I'm having with the Bears, and it could just be rookie rust, because they surrounded this kid with every weapon that you could imagine. The O
Indeed, they
line
did.
is the O line. They put money into the O line. They have weapons on the outside. They have running backs. They have every weapon on offense that you can imagine. And that defense is not to be played with. So, which begs in the question, why are they not better in the record where they should be? You know what I mean? And the only dividend here is the quarterback. Caleb Williams has to improve. He has to improve his decision making. He cannot panic. You know what I mean? And look, man, it's a long road. It's his rookie season. So maybe this is just one of those tough road type of things, kind of like Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? He was garbage his rookie season, 3-13. That may end up being somewhere similar around what happens to Caleb
And
Williams. So
that is
we
the
just have to
problem
see.
with the NFL. Not to cut you off, you get these quarterbacks, and everybody is expecting these quarterbacks to start off hot coming
Hmm.
out of college.
Right.
You cannot put all of this pressure on this kid and expect him to be the next Joe Namath, the next Steve Young, the next great Dan Marino, or
Yeah.
you cannot expect these kids to just come out and be great.
No.
Like I said before, the NFL and college football are two different things. It is
Right.
not the same.
Well, I mean,
Moving
look,
on.
now just real quick, it's becoming more and more the same. You know what I mean? But with this, the way that they're paying the players now, the way that teams or players are transferring to schools and stuff based on
Mhm.
what the other school wants to give them. It's free agency, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, so I mean, yeah, it's quite possible, bro. The question that I want to ask is, at what point do we say, okay, these guys aren't students, they're professional athletes? You know what I'm saying? That's the question that
I
I have.
agree with that. I agree with that. Let's talk about the next game. Broncos Raiders. Broncos defeating the Raiders by a score of 34-18. Another blowout. I'm not impressed with this game. I'm going to dig in Sean Payton right now. And Sean Payton, he is trying to do what he did in New Orleans and Denver.
Mhm.
You're trying to find the next Drew Brees.
Okay, hold on. Because no, that's not what he's doing. And I'm going to tell you why. He didn't draft Drew Brees. He didn't have him from a rookie and developed him. He has never in his career as a head coach developed a quarterback. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
this is the first time that he's possibly going to develop Bo Nix into something. It's again with these quarterbacks, especially with a young one, you have to surround him with an offensive line at the very least, and they have problems on their offensive line. They beat the Raiders. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. But you got to improve on that. You can't just beat the lower tier talent of the NFL and then get blown out when you know what I mean when you have stronger talent. It just it can't work that way. You will never get anywhere. And the amount of money that the Denver Broncos paid Sean Payton, they're expecting results.
I don't think that's right now because, like you said, Bo Nix he's a rookie quarterback. It starts with the Broncos defense.
Mhm.
The Broncos' strength is their defense. It's always been their defense.
Right.
And without the right pieces on the defensive end and the offensive end protecting a quarterback like a Bo Nix to where he can blossom to maybe he could be the next Drew Brees. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's right this second.
No.
Maybe 2 to 3 seasons. Let's see what the kid can do.
He needs some seasoning, man. You know what I'm saying? He needs some seasoning on the field to really get a good picture of what he can do.
Now this game right here, I was not shocked nor impressed because
Mhm.
the problems in San Francisco is continuing to happen right before our very eyes. They
Yeah.
let the Cardinals come back and beat them by 1 point, 24-23.
Yeah.
What is going on in San Francisco? I'm going to dive right into this right now.
Yeah.
Since not playing McCaffrey at the beginning of the season with that hamstring injury, then losing Debo, then losing George Kittle for a while, then
Yeah.
losing IU, not bringing IU in when the preseason and not giving him the money that he wanted. Because let's face it, he's seeing all these wide receivers getting the bag, getting paid,
Yeah.
and he thinks he's on that elite level with them.
He does.
I say not yet. The kid
Mhm.
is talented,
It
but
doesn't, but you can't really say not yet. You're talented, but not yet because in the NFL, you never know how long you're going to play. It could be one injury that now you have to retire. You see what I'm saying? So the
true.
problem is these young athletes, they want the bag as soon as possible. And when you see a guy like CD Lamb get 35 million a year, you're like, I want that. I want 35.3 or whatever,
But
whatever
are
it
they,
may be.
not to cut you off, the question is, like, are they worth that money? That's the problem. That's the point. And this is where, and we're going to get on Jerry Jones in Dallas, and I'm glad you brought that up because these
Yeah.
teams are signing these players to do what on your team? San
So
Francisco, the problem is like I said, you're expecting too much out of Brock Purdy, being the fact that he took y'all to the Super Bowl last year. Yay! Y'all thought y'all was going to be this great team to go back into the Super Bowl again this year.
right, right.
No, no. You have teams that is improving each year, like a
Mhm.
Detroit. Like, look at Detroit. Look at Detroit.
Mhm.
Look at the players on defense that they have on defense. San
Mhm.
Francisco's problem is without these players, they have no identity.
Well,
And they're
so
defending
that's
on Brock Purdy to do everything
so
for
you
them.
said
And
the
it's
key
not gonna work.
word. You said the key word without those players. That's the key phrase, right? It's always been a real coach will tell you it's next man up mentality. And in order for that to be proper, you have to train the next
Mhm.
man up. The problem with most NFL teams, when they have starters, the starters will get 85% of the reps. And then your backups get like 10, 15. So they're not learning or they're not, developing as faster or as, as properly as you may like
Hmm.
because they're considered backups. And you're only going to get in if this guy gets hurt, and this guy never gets hurt. You know what I mean? So like,
Right.
so it's at their own detriment. And then when something like this happens, yeah, okay, so yeah, we drafted Trey Lance and it didn't work out, but we got this kid. He was the last pick of the draft, and he's cold. It was he, or was it the fact that you surrounded him with Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuels and George Kittle? And
Hmm.
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Was that, or is this kid really good? And now you're finding out. Now you're getting an answer that I don't really think you want. You
Mhm.
see what I'm saying?
Do you see San Francisco going to the playoffs and going back to that Super Bowl?
No, not this year.
I don't
No,
think so too. Moving
because
on
they're
to a team.
yeah,
Moving on
the
to a
team is
team.
yeah.
Jordan Love. Jordan Love. You got the win this week. You beat the Rams. I picked the Rams to win this game. I was wrong about this game too. But Jordan Love defeated the Rams by a score of 24-19. And I'm gonna tell you why I keep saying his name. Jordan Love. What the heck are you doing with the football? What are you doing? You're in your own end zone. Throw the ball away. What does Jordan Love do?
Yeah.
He did what's the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans? Will Levis. He did a
Will Levis.
Will Levis.
Yeah.
Bro, you're in the end zone and you're
That's
going down. You see the pressure. You see the pressure that this team is applying to you. And you go down in your own end zone and you toss it, but you didn't toss it out of bounds. He didn't do that. He didn't toss it out of bounds. He tossed it right into the defender's hands, right
oh
for a
man.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Green
So
Bay.
so
Let me finish with this. Green Bay. That's your future quarterback. You paying Jordan Love all this money to do plays like that, and then this is another team that's relying on their defense. You got injuries on the offensive line. To me, their backup is better than Jordan Love. Why didn't y'all keep going with this kid?
Malik Willis. Yeah.
Jordan Love, Jordan Love is not the future of the Packers. I'm sorry. You traded away Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, and y'all wanted him to be the whole culture. Oh, we're going to sign this quarterback to change the culture of our team. Oh, we're going to pay this quarterback enough money to do this and do that. And then when y'all make it to the playoffs, okay, you beat Dallas last year. Great job. That's last year. What the heck are y'all doing this year? You pay your quarterback to turn the ball over to the other team? Like, make that make sense to me, bro.
So the funny thing about this is, like I said before, they really thought they had the heir apparent. And it goes back to what I'm saying. If you don't train your backups, you can never expect them to develop into starters. And Jordan Love was a backup behind Aaron Rodgers for like 3 years, 4 years, something like that.
3 years.
Right? Right. So he sat there and you're like, oh, he should have been learning from Aaron Rodgers, right? Who says that Aaron
Learn.
Rodgers wanted to teach him?
Did you see
Because
what Aaron Rodgers did on Sunday? You want to learn
yeah,
from that? Turning the ball over. Aaron Rodgers turned the ball over 3 times. 3 times.
Look, Aaron Rodgers was a good quarterback because he's had immaculate arm strength. That was always the key about Aaron Rodgers. He could flick that ball 80 yards down the field. But
Not no
his
more.
act, yeah, no, you're older, man. You're not gonna have that talent forever. You know what I mean? And so you have to learn how to develop the game, and I don't think he has. Like Peyton Manning was great at it, right? Even though, okay, even the last year when he won the Super Bowl with Denver, his arm strength was the drizzling shits, right?
Hmm.
He couldn't throw a ball more than 10 yards, but guess what he did do? He learned how to scheme those guys open. And that
Indeed,
is
he
what
did.
football, that is why Peyton Manning is, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback ever, right? Because where he started to have a deficiency in one area. He's like, okay, there's nothing I can do about that. But you know what I can do? I can elevate my game in this area. And so that's what he did. You know what I mean? And so Jordan Love has a rude awakening because he's not a young quarterback. He's not a new to the block. He's been here. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you that if he doesn't get his stuff together, Malik Willis will take his job.
I agree with that. Let me talk about a team that impressed me this week. I've been ragging on them all week. They shocked me in Seattle. I'm sorry. I'm giving them their flowers. The New York Football Giants went into Seattle and defeated Seattle by a score of 29-20. I've been saying this about the Giants. I've been ragging about Daniel Jones. I've been calling him Daniel Trash. I said he was stinking up MetLife Stadium. I said all that. Y'all heard it first from me. From me.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones surprised me that game. He did what he was supposed to do. And the reason why the Giants won that game, it's not because of Daniel Jones. It was their defense and their special teams. If they did not stop that Seattle from making that field goal, that game would have went into overtime. I don't know what woke them up in special teams to block that field goal the way they did, but the Giants got it done. And let me say this about Geno Smith. Geno Smith. I was ragging about Geno Smith. I was calling him trash too, saying that he wasn't going to lead a team nowhere. He's improving every year I see him play. And you lost to the Giants this week, but I think if Seattle, if they get it together, that the pieces that they got and Walker in the backfield with Geno and they got Metcalf too and Lockett, them boys can be dangerous too, man. What's your thoughts?
Geno Smith is not gonna improve any more than what he is. He's had a very slow progression. When I mean slow, I mean, dude, it took you all those years of being with the Jets. It took you being with the New York Giants. It took, oh, we don't have another option really, so yeah, you can be our starter. And he took advantage of it. Like, yeah, he did that. That's great for him. You know what I mean? However, you lost to the Giants, bro. And I'm not saying that because I hate the Giants or anything, but we all know the Giants are not a good team right now. You just said it. They won
No.
because of their defense and because of special teams. Their offense is trash. We know this. We know that they were trying to get another quarterback before the draft even started. You know what I mean? Before this year's
Mhm.
draft, they were trying to get another quarterback, but they couldn't. So they went along with the guy that they had. So, yeah, did he win? Congratulations. All he's doing right now is showing the rest of the NFL that he's a capable backup. That's it.
Sunday night, Cowboys Steelers. Dak against Justin Fields in Pittsburgh. The Cowboys got it done, winning this game by a score of 20-17.
So let me,
Dak Prescott.
nah. Let me,
I don't know about. I'm gonna let you go ahead. I'm gonna let you start this off, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts on Dak.
it's not so much Dak, it's Pittsburgh, right? One week you got Russell Wilson as your starter. The next
Hmm.
week you got Justin Fields as your starter. Then you want to put Russell Wilson back as the starter. Mike Tomlin is so incredibly blessed to be the Steelers head coach. Why? They don't fire people.
No.
They have had like four coaches since the beginning of their time. You understand? They have
Hmm.
had, and it's crazy because the Steelers are a good football team. Mike Tomlin, I think, has lost his way. You know what I mean? He's lost his way, and I think he needs to maybe revisit some of those old Steeler days. He needs to kind of do something to get that defense together. It's something, but he's experimenting with these quarterbacks, and neither one of them are it. Kenny Pickett, bro, why did you trade Kenny Pickett? This is a quintessential example of what I'm saying. A rookie quarterback is trash. We all know this, but he can get better. You gave up on him too quickly. You know what I mean? Why did you give up on Kenny Pickett? That's the question that needs to be answered.
Dak Prescott. Dak. Jerry Jones. Why are you paying this man all this money
Yeah.
to do this? Here we go. Set. Here we go. Where are we going? Where are you going? No, nowhere. And this is a new segment of the show. This. We're going to start doing this. The worst quarterback of the week, and this award is going to Dak Prescott. I'm giving this to you this week, Dak, because y'all almost lost this game.
Yeah.
No. I'm not, and I'm going to get on Pittsburgh too. Y'all almost lost this game. You're paying these players. Y'all still struggling on offense. You got Zeke and that other running back. What's that guy's name? It'll get to me. But Dak Prescott, what the heck are you doing in Dallas? You're calling these plays. People are still going to figure you out. You're calling this audibles. Here we go. Go that way. Here we go. CD, I want you to go this way. Oh, we got Cooks over here or whoever they got. Here we go. Go that way. Go over there and do that. You're going nowhere. Every single year, Jerry Jones is paying these quarterbacks in Dallas to go nowhere. You make the playoffs and you go into the playoffs and do what?
You want to know why
You
he
let
pays
the
those quarterbacks?
Packers, and shout out to my brother Chaos, you let the Green Bay Slackers beat y'all.
Yeah.
Green Bay took y'all out the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
You going where? Here we go. Where you going? Where
Look,
are you going?
listen, man, there's a reason. Jerry Jones is a very backwards individual. He likes to pay these quarterbacks because he doesn't like to be wrong. If it was up to him, he would have had Johnny Manziel on that team. His son stopped him from drafting Johnny Manziel. You understand? He
Yeah.
pays Tony Romo because he didn't want to be wrong. He paid Dak Prescott because he didn't want to be wrong. There is no, I will repeat, there is nothing this man can do at this point because he 40% of his uh, salary cap is going to two people. Two people, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. How can you justify that?
And you're
How?
paying, and not to cut you off, the two names that you just said, they are arguing every week because of the errors. That keep changing up plays. Here we
Yeah.
go. CD, slant. CD, run a deep route. CD, I want you to cut in the corner and come back and run. The chemistry in Dallas
Yeah.
is the reason that Dallas is not going to win a Super Bowl. I don't
No.
care how
I'm
much
a
money that you paying this quarterback. Oh, Dak Prescott is the future. He's the quarterback of the future of the Dallas Cowboys. We're gonna
I'm gonna
sit
be
on
real
him for
with you.
5 years.
I'm gonna be real. The Dallas Cowboys are not gonna win another Super Bowl until Jerry Jones is no longer in charge of the Dallas Cowboys.
I agree with that.
Mark my words.
This one is gonna hurt you, man. But we
Man,
got to
look,
talk about it.
no, I'm not even gonna let you go there. You know what I'm saying? I'm listen, listen. New Orleans people, hey, get comfortable because I'm about to tell y'all a whole lot of things that you probably don't want to hear. Okay. As we all know, I'm a New Orleans fan. I am from New Orleans. I represent the Saints. I love the team, right? Here's the problem. Okay. Dennis Allen is the problem because Dennis Allen is not a head coach. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. He is a positional coordinator. That is all he is. That is all he will ever be. You pay a quarterback $150 million to do what? Because see, all that money that you paid a quarterback that is average at best. And if you don't believe me, let's go down the list and look at where he ranks among the 32 quarterbacks at every single category. He is dead in the middle. You pay him $50 million a year and you do not invest in your offensive line. And I know what a lot of y'all are thinking, but they did. They spent a first round pick on Taliesin Fuanga. They spent a first round pick on Cesar Ruiz. Bro, when you have people who keep getting injured, when you have a guy like Ruiz, who was a center, and you keep trying to put him at guard for whatever reason, because Eric McCoy is that guy. So you know what you do? You don't draft a center. That's what you don't do. You draft a guard. That's what you do. A guy that has played guard all throughout college. Don't take somebody and you're like, oh, you know what? He could play guard. No, that's stupid. Because now this guy is not even a backup. I guarantee you, if we released him today, he would not be picked up by anybody. And this is the truth. This is the truth. Okay? You have a guy in Chris Olave who should be a slot receiver. But no, y'all have him at the number one spot. Why? Why? He is not that guy. He is not Brandon Cooks. They're too small. They're too small to be a number one pick, a number one player at that position. So now you go to face the Chiefs. You face the back-to-back Super Bowl winning Chiefs. And you know what? Your defense did their fucking job. I'm sorry for the word, but they did their job.
Yes, they did. I gotta dig in. I gotta dive in here because I want to dive in this game too, bro. I'm putting Derek Carr in the worst quarterback of the week position too, next to Dak Prescott, and here's why. I said it last week. I said it last week. The Saints are getting high on Derek Carr for what?
Right.
He's going to come there and show y'all who he truly is. That's why the Raiders let him go.
Yeah.
And y'all trying, oh, let's go grab Derek Carr. Let's bring him into New Orleans. New Orleans was known for their high-powered offense. Let me finish this. New Orleans was known for what? Their high-powered offense. New Orleans was known for putting points on the board. You got injuries, like you said, on offense and defense. They're expecting too much out of Taysom Hill, who's hurt. You got Kamara. Kamara's not going to be hot, but so long. The teams are going to figure out Alvin Kamara.
No. That's not the problem. Problem ain't Kamara. Kamara is still that dude.
I'm not saying that Kamara is the problem.
But the problem is that offensive line. When you have a fourth string, not one, not two, not three, but four at playing at center, there's no way Kamara's going to be able to run anywhere. That defense was penetrating the offensive line all night.
And if you got players like Travis Kelce catching the ball 15, 10 yards and doing laterals to Samaje Perine for extra yards,
bro,
y'all secondary gotta wake up on that because that shouldn't have happened. And then you got Taylor Swift. All the Swifties are like, yay, let's watch the Kansas City Chiefs play because of Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is bringing extra fan base into KC.
It's a great marketing ploy. It's fantastic. It's a great marketing ploy. The problem is, right? I would say that Dennis Allen should be where Robert Saleh is right now.
I was just about to get into that.
On his damn couch. That's where he should be at. And honestly, the only reason he's not is because Mickey Loomis is an idiot. And the reason Mickey Loomis is an idiot is because he runs that team like he owns it. Because Gail Benson, come on, let's be real. She doesn't really care. She has that because it was her husband's team and she holds it because it makes money and all of that. But if she gave a damn like she should, he would have been fired years ago. But he's not. And then when you say that, he comes on, he does press conferences, and he has an attitude with everybody. Oh, these Saints fans, guess what? You're running the Saints, so shouldn't you be saying our fans? You know what I'm saying? It's a problem from head to toe that with that team right now. And until they get rid of that guy, until they get rid of Dennis Allen, I'm sorry to say, man, it just doesn't look good for the squad, man.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, like I said, KC won this one 26-13. We're going to do a new session. Most improved quarterback of the week. Let's get into it. I'm diving into it. And you know where I'm going with this one. I've been saying this man's name all week, and I'm going to keep saying it until he proves me wrong. My most improved quarterback of the week is going to go to the Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold. You heard me first, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen. Sam Darnold is the most improved quarterback of the week. Here
Look,
is
man,
why. He went into a team and let's face it, he is doing what Kirk Cousins should have been doing when he was over there.
yeah. To say that the Vikings went into the season planning to start JJ McCarthy. He goes down early, doesn't even get to play a single snap in the regular season. Yeah, everybody thought that the Vikings were done. So for that reason, yes, Sam Darnold, you're doing what you should do. Here he's pulling right now. Um what is the Ravens quarterback? What was Joe Flacco? He's
Mhm.
pulling a Joe Flacco right now. That's what he's doing. You're not a great quarterback, but you're surrounded by great talent.
Who would
And
you
so
give
you
the most improved quarterback? Who would you give that? Who would you give that to this week?
improved is kind of man, I gotta say CJ Stroud. I gotta say that. He's not really improved because he's been showing week in and week out that he is that dude. But man, the Texans, they're gonna go far, bro. If he keeps playing the way that he's playing, they are going to go far. His accuracy, the way that he moves with his feet, the way that he moves in the pocket, his arm strength, yo, the Texans are a problem right now. And especially for that AFC South that really has no one to stand up to them at
To
all.
represent that, I gotta agree with you on. I gotta give you your flowers on that one. My most improved defense this week, I have to give it to the Vikings. I have to give it to Minnesota. Like I said, since Brian Flores
Yeah,
went over there, let's face it, the Vikings defense wasn't the same. You know that, I know that.
right, right,
Brian Flores went over there and changed the culture of that Vikings defense.
right.
And now they're 5-0. You got to
Yeah.
give the Vikings you got to give that defense their flowers this week. I mean, if you have another team in mind, talk to me. But I got the Vikings as the most improved defense of the week.
Nah, man. Yeah, again, you go with a team that has everything going right for them. They're striking while the iron is hot, and that's what you're supposed to do in the NFL. You're supposed to take advantage of every situation, and that's what the Minnesota Vikings are doing. So kudos to the Vikings.
Thursday night football coming up, week 6, starting it off. We got San Francisco 49ers taking on Geno Smith and the Seahawks.
Ooh,
Who you got this game, man? Let's talk about it. Who do you got?
by default, I gotta say Seattle because San Francisco has too many injuries right now. They're too depleted. So I gotta go with Seattle at this point. If Geno Smith can just hold on to the ball and not make mistakes, they'll be fine and they'll win this game.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I'm gonna go with San Francisco, and here's why. Kyle Shanahan
Mhm.
has never lost 3 in a row. ever in his whole entire career. You can look back into it right now. These are all
Yeah.
facts. Kyle
Mhm.
Shanahan is not going to lose three in a row. I'm picking San Francisco to win this game because of Kyle Shanahan. He's going to get that. He's going to get his offense together. Eventually, that offense is going to come back together once they get the right pieces back. Once they get Debo back. Once they get back Christian
Yeah, but
McCaffrey in the
you're
backfield.
talking about ifs, ands, and buts, man. There's a first time for everything. There's
I
a
mean,
first
I agree with
time
you,
for
but
everything.
I still got San Fran to pull this one off because, like I said, Kyle Shanahan is going to get these. He's going to get this group together,
Right.
and I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to stop Geno. I think Geno is still going to struggle. I think that Giants game, the way that he was struggling, let's face it, he got sacked almost 7 times, bro. 7 times.
Yeah.
The Giants defense was hungry when they were playing Seattle.
I mean,
If they can
you
do
got
that to them,
two.
if they
The
can do
pro
that to them, imagine what the 49ers defense is going to do to Seattle.
the problem is you have two depleted teams. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they're both
Yeah. So
depleted, but but
you
but to
have two
me,
depleted teams. Yeah.
I think Kyle Shanahan is going to pull this one off.
Hey man, we'll see.
That was the recap of Week 5, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do this every week. My brother, do you have any final words before we end this show?
Yo, man, I just want to say thank you to the Family Meeting Podcast, for, putting this together and having us here. Everybody go check out the episode on Saturday. Shout out to my boy Reggie. And thank you for everybody that's tunes in and watches. We're about to build something great. I promise y'all on this. This is just the beginning right now. We're in the beginning stages, but we are about to do something that has never been done before. So, stay tuned, keep rocking with us. The shows are gonna get better. The lighting, the camera work, everything is gonna get much better. And we promise if y'all stick with us, you won't regret it.
I want to shout out my brothers in the Family Meeting Podcast because if it wasn't for them, this wouldn't be possible. I want to give a shout out to my family. I want to give a shout out to the viewers that watch us every week, the loyal viewers. Thank y'all. Y'all don't have to do this, but y'all do it anyway. And that's love to me. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all watching every week and tuning in. I want to thank the past guests that we had on this show. Trust me, we're gonna grow. The only way we're going is forward. It's no looking back.
Oh
And
man, we're
on
going
that
up.
note, I want to thank y'all. Tune in on Saturday. Tune in Saturday, and my brothers on the Family Meeting Podcast. They're gonna do something real special. Like I said, I want to thank my viewers for watching.
Keep
Shout out to my brother Mel.
keep going.
And I just want to thank y'all, man.
Keep going. Man, we're trying to end the show.
We're trying
Good,
to end the show.
good. End it.
Tune in next week as we dive into week 6 of the NFL. We want to thank y'all. Peace and love. We'll see y'all next week. Shout out to Charlene for watching.